Welcome to a trade review from First Use. And in the video today, I'm going to cover off West Coast. And we'll look at their two trades that they made for. So Tyler Young from Richmond, tall defender, and also two-time premiership player Brandon Starcevich. I'm going to go through some key stats. Obviously, then they're going to be pretty grim from what happened in 2025 with only one win. But I'm going to really highlight a couple of areas and where possibly both Brandon and Tyler can help out. From all the stats, the ball pretty much lived in their back half for the entire year, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to point out the reason and what they need to really focus on. These two key defenders, yes, will help, but they need to still win the ball at the source, and I'm talking about clearances and also hitouts. So let's get in the vision of both these players, but I'm also going to highlight some key stats that you'll identify and you'll soon realise as an Eagles supporter what they really need to work on this preseason. So let's get into the footage now. So the first player I'm going to look at is Tyler Young. I thought, we're looking at his footage, he just reads the play really well. He's 196 centimetres. He's 27 years of age. Richmond were really upset to lose him, and I think it's a really good acquisition for the West Coast Eagles. Something they just needed to help out with Gibney down there, and then obviously you add in Starcevich, just adding a little bit of stability in the back half. But just watching his footage, his best game was against Essendon. It was round 18, had 18 possessions, he had 8 marks, had 8 intercepts. But when I show you the footage, just watch his ability. So this is a fast play coming down the wing for Essendon. And his ability to just understand, there he is there, understand where the ball is, where the ball's going to drop. And he played on this night, he played on Caddy, he also played on 2 metre Peter and did a really, really good job. And just ability to see it, protect the ball space, bring it to ground. And then the other impressive part that I noticed in these highlights is ability to see the space early and kick the favoured side. So as a defender, whether you're a small defender or a key defender, you look at someone like Harris Andrews, uses the ball really, really well. So this is a really good injection, a positive injection in the backline for West Coast in 2026. So once again, so Essendon's going right of screen. This is off the half back line. So once again, it's a fast play. So as key defenders, you've got to assess it really early. Got to know where the ball is, but you've also got to be understanding where your direct opponent is. So the ball comes in, and this is him here. So a little bit out of position. I mean, if the kick was more favoured to Caddy, then it's in a way it's a really weak line of the kick. But it's the ability to understand where the drop of the ball is and then to launch it. One of the things I noticed is he's really good. He goes at the ball, he tacks it, and he's a really good overhead. So something that will give West Coast a bit of rebound from their back 50. So once again, Essendon's going right of screen, comes in. This come out of the centre, so really fast play. There he is here. You think he's a little bit out of position, but he just reads the ball really well in the air. I think Caddy's the one that's trying to play him, trying to body him, and then he just comes in and takes the mark. So really good awareness, just to go at the ball and be able to have those intercepts. Like I said, he had 8 intercepts in this game. He's also very courageous too. Will go for the body, but he's also a really good spoiler. So in this situation, ball's coming in deep. He's got to hold his position. He's got Caddy, so he's just in the background here. Caddy's very dangerous, as we know. But just to get up and then spoil that ball when he's got Dersner coming the other way. So very courageous, ability to spoil the ball, reset. So once again, another fast play. It's on the wing. Essendon's going inside forward 50, and this ability to read it off the boot. Really good intercept. So goes at the defender, which I've always said that you've got to do. Take the grass. Once you've got the possession of the ball, just gets a little bit confused here, but doesn't panic. Knows that there's players behind. So a little bit of a fumble. Ball comes back, but this is really good awareness. So as a big key defender,
You not only got to mark it in the air, use the ball well, but you've got to have really good lateral awareness to know where your players are. I don't know how he knew this, but this is really good to know. Look at that. Just instinctive. Sees it laterally, sees it shorts to his right, and just taps it over and knew that he's got 1, 2, 3 Essendon defenders coming at him. So really good awareness for a big fella. And now this is really late in the game. So Essendon were trying to play on at every opportunity. As you see there's a minute 30 to go in the game. They have to try and win it. This is him here. This is Tyler Young. So squashes up the boundary line. I don't know whether he knew this, but identifying that he's a right footer. So really good awareness because they're trying to play on. They're trying to play on at every opportunity. Goes around, down the line, and there he is there. And he's aware of incoming Essendon player, but just goes for it. Ices the game. So really good awareness. Really like the way he moves. And I think, a valuable asset to the West Coast Eagles defence line in 2026. Okay, so let's look at some key stats. And as I said at the start, that even though they've traded for 2 defenders, there's one key area they need to really focus on in the preseason. In my opinion, it's clearances. So let's go through some stats. So obviously it's going to be gut-wrenching for West Coast Eagles fans, but this is reality and this is what you've got to face, but this is what you can improve. So there's only one way, and that's up. So I finished 18th with a record of 1 win, 21 losses. This is their damning one. So they recorded a negative 245 clearance differential across the season. So they were the worst in the AFL. The next worst was Richmond at 105. So of all their games, they were negative 245 in clearances. That's a huge number. So I think the best was Brisbane Lions. They had plus 142. This is a huge number. So they've got to really rectify that in the preseason. So a lot of that comes with the ruck. So they lost a hit-out battle by an average of 10 or negative 10 per game. So lost on average. That's how many hit-outs they lost per game. So, yes, that's one area they need to really look at. But this is a damning one. Negative 245 in clearance differentials is huge number, massive number. So they ranked 3rd in rebound 50s, and you're going to think, oh, well, at least they won something, had a podium. But that's because the ball lived in their defensive half for the entire year, and that comes with clearances. So if they're losing the clearances by huge amounts every game, which way is the ball going? It's going in their back half. So this is, like I said, this is the one area, even though they've traded for 2 defenders, they've really got to put the spotlight on the clearances in their midfields. So second worst in the competition for inside 50. So that really is self-explanatory. If the ball is living in your defensive half, then you're not really going to have a lot of entries inside forward 50. So, but it all starts with the source, the clearances, and that's where a lot of clubs talk about. And their average losing margin was 44 points. So they had some big losses in 2025. But if they can look at that, they've got 2 defenders, really good additions to their backline, but just really focus on this number. They can sort of balance it out and be competitive. And now, I guess, as an Eagles fan, that's what you want to see in 2026. Be competitive, new coach, new game style. It's a big number to turn around, but at the source, in my opinion, they've got to tidy up their clearances. Okay, so the other one I'm now going to look at is Starcevich. He's a gun, a leader, 2-time premiership player. He's only 26 years of age, and he gets the small forwards. And what I'm highlighting the grand final performance from 2024 because if you go back to 2023, when he played on Bobby Hill was Norm Smith medalist and really did a number on him. So to come back in the grand final a year later and be able to play on Papley and keep him to pretty much 0 touches, but he just does stuff like this. So he's coming back. So Leicester's coming back with the flight of the ball. There's Starcevich, obviously there, number 37. But just to be able to protect Leicester, protection of his teammate there, but it's just a wonderful. So he plays on the small forwards, plays really, really hard,
and uses the ball extremely well. So, and that leadership quality down back is what the West Coast Eagles are really searching for, and they've got that in Brandon Starcevich. So, quick play. Sydney's going right of screen. So all these highlights are in the grand final of 2024. So a quick play comes in, just the ability to get, but then also assess what's up ahead, and he's a good decision maker. Hit it out into space. So West Coast Eagles are gaining two players, not only height with Tyler Young, 196 centimetres, but you've got a great leader in 188 centimetre, Brandon Starcevich, but they both use the ball really, really well off the back in the back line. So this is right on quarter time. So once again, really quick play out of the centre. Here he is here. Read the play, read it really early, and go for his mark. So he's good overhead, but he will shut you down. He's a very, very good defender and got experience behind him to show that. So Sydney's got it. They're going left of screen. So kick down the line, and this is what he can do. He can come off. He's good overhead, but he also makes good decisions. But then if you're always going to make mistakes, but he stays involved in the play. So this is what Brisbane love to do. They love to switch the play. So that's automatic. And this isn't a really good, important injection for West Coast Eagles because it's in his DNA to switch the play. So if they can switch the play, which they need to do, and switch fast, they'll be able to spread some of the defence that they played against in 2026. Anyway, so he kicks it, and it's a little bit of a spoil, but he's still involved, still pushes over, still gets involved. And watch his body spoil. This is great. They're going to receive it, bang. And he's hard as nails. So he's going to inject, like I keep saying, that not only that experience, but also that leadership in the back half for the West Coast Eagles. And then this is just him intercepting and making quick decisions. So here he is here, coming off his direct opponent, grabs a hold of the ball, looks up, and this is a great kick. To kick in space, to be able to see that, be able to kick to the favoured side. So this is what I'm saying. When it's the reason why I've highlighted some fast entries into the back half for Brisbane is his ability to make quick decisions, and you need that in the AFL because defenders come at you, and also opposition set up really well behind the ball. But if you can catch them on the goal side, as in this situation with your field kicking, you can make a lot of ground going forward. Once again, fast play, comes out of the centre. It's a free kick, and he just reads it really, really well. Bang, another intercept. So this is still all in that grand final. And he was very, very close to being one of the best on ground, in my opinion, and that's why I'm highlighting it. And then the other thing, as I mentioned before, really good spoil, but he's also a very selfless player. He plays for his teammates really hard. So good body spoil here, and then the ability to shepherd and give Zorko opportunity to go away. So there you have it. There's one key defender, as in Tyler Young, 196 centimetres, and Brandon Starcevich, who will get the small forward. So you put that in McCarthy, Ruben Gibney, like you've got some really good stability there. But I just think that Brandon Starcevich is a really key pillar down back. I've seen him up close, the games that I've commentated, the Brisbane Lions. I love what I saw from Tyler Young, and you can only sense that from Richmond. They were very disappointed to lose him. Been injured for a couple of years, but played some really, really solid footy this year. So both those two players, injection in the West Coast defence, is going to really tidy it up. So if they can just get those clearances right, the hit outs, get their ruck going, get some, and just really clean up that clearance rate, that will just put a little bit of heat off their back half. But I love the two injection of those two players that they've traded for.